does become
it
very
has the-
interesting when we have
at the end of the
teams
season.
that are
I'm
well-rounded.
I'm done. I know what Carol's doing now.
So, like, just about these players on top of Bekasi, I think that's like
We-
one of
Well, this guy
a
obviously
very
pushed out
familiar name.
that
to
I have seen it
a lot
out.
of
He's
people.
using
Also, the
it.
same goes for Mage, Imabuka, super respectable player as well. Like they have shown like decent form in the Philippines match, and of course there's Race, the other Indonesian player in like the quartet we're seeing here on stream. Like, oh my goodness, like I'm so excited to see how both of these teams are going to be performing, especially that they're fighting for their lives already in this tournament this early on. Like this is the second week of the tournament still.
I want to do that again.
Yeah, really high stakes. But you can't afford to lose here for either team. And as you said, these rosters are very strong for both of them. Ontobekasi Rays have been playing most of the maps actually that we've seen so far for Indonesia.
You wouldn't blame me.
And of course, Mage playing a lot of these LN maps. And Timebuka, I believe, is
blisters,
been playing most of the rice picks. So Russia definitely have this kind of roster that they can switch in and out different players depending on the individual hybrid.
I know what to do that to cheer me up.
We're just seeing some stuff from.
I know what to do that to cheer me up.
Seeing some stuff like making sure everything is ready for this first pick. We'll be starting in a few.
I know what to do that to cheer me up.
And here we go.
What?
I know what I can do.
Okay, we'll see just how comfortable Indonesia is on this one to be picking it first in the match.
Obviously, with these early rice patterns, you'd expect like Russia having a bit of a higher accuracy onto Bekasi. Actually,
I
just
found
to note,
this
94
fucking cringe
the
hit.
lowest start.
That was a miss on one of the very first notes there for Ontobekasi, so very shaky start, but that being said, it is a 4-minute long map just about, so the accuracy is what's going to be a little bit more important than a miss as early as that one. And if Ontobekasi manages to bring up that accuracy, has a long time to do it, there is still the potential. But oh, here, Timabuka from Russia is going to find the first kind of considerable miss here from either of the teams.
And Indonesia will be getting the lead immediately, especially with Mage now following up on that miss from Buka. Raze with carrying that 99.4, actually similar accuracies between Buka and Raze.
Oh my god.
Mage also carrying similar accuracies, just the combo advantage from Indonesia being the one that keeping them in the lead. Yeah.
They're all the same,
Very similar
99.4. Actually, if anything, Russia is the one with slightly higher accuracy right now, but definitely with 2 misses there, just the one really early one from Indonesia. It's going to mean that Indonesia's ahead by just a little bit.
Indonesia cannot afford getting a single miss though, because Russia is just within striking distance, even though the score gap graphic there is showing some considerable lead already from Indonesia. But again, you have to see those accuracies super similar. Ontobekasi just pulling a bit ahead with that 99.5.
It is still just about one miss difference, I would say. Maybe Indonesia would still have a very slight advantage after one miss, but not really anything to write home about just yet. And of course, we are only halfway through. This is a long map.
And like the patterns do get a bit rough in this chart as Raze getting a combo break. So no more full combos left in this lobby. But considering Ontobekasi's very sizable combo in fact, like Indonesia will still be maintaining that lead. Raze getting yet another drop before even reaching the 400 combo cap, so that might be helping Russia just that bit. But
Timebuka from
accuracy,
Russia, yeah, the accuracy's dipped quite a bit down to 99.1, and that's keeping the lead in Indonesia's side. Ooh, 3 people missing right there. And Raze follows up. That's a full wipe for the entire scoreboard. We can just ignore all those, basically. They all trade each other. But at the end of the day, it is Indonesia with this accuracy lead. Mage with an unfortunate second. Oh, hang on a second.
Following up as well on that, on those staccato offense, like that this is a coordination section where, like, super easy to drop. So that does mean that Indonesia will be falling just a tad bit ahead, going into the final section, like the final stream in this chart. Mage getting yet another drop in these Alan chords. And I think that might be Indonesia picking up their first point in this match. So just a bit more.
Definitely looking likely.
Yeah.
Ooh, all players are missing left and right now, but it is that accuracy advantage. That's the important factor right now. Both teams have missed a fair amount, but the accuracy is something that's much harder for Russia to come back from, as Mage and Timebook are both of them dropping down in the second half, but onto Bakasi and Raze managing to hold on these acts for much longer.
Yeah.
Onto Bakasi 99.4 at the end of that, despite 10 misses. Hang on, that's
lot of misses. I didn't know
that would have been a single section that where most of those dropped. I don't think there were that many individual combo breaks.
Yeah, it's just that intro section practically. Like maybe like a miss or two from the rest of the chart.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a very impressive score, especially coming off a pretty rough start. But yeah, now it's going to be the Russian Federation team's turn to pick this time around, hoping to get their first point on the board as well.
Yeah, that was of course Indonesia's pick, so no harm done just yet. Of course, the first pick is something that you would expect the team to be most comfortable with. So now, of course, it is Russia's time. It is going to be Rice 2 for no reason is going to be the pick here. Another map, well, the first map that we haven't seen. Actually, I believe it was banned, was it, in the previous match?
Yeah, it was banned by PH against Japan, basing an R earlier. And this is, again, like the denser chord stream pick, so we're going to see a bit more brackets over Aratana Riketsui, the other chord stream pick. The other one is a bit more on the lighter side, basically just double stairs pretty much the entire chart. So a bit Russia trying to push like a bit more physicality into this match, maybe seeing if one of these Indonesian players are capable of playing these brackets. Hopefully getting their first point. Hopefully Russia getting their first point as well.
Yeah, that would be the goal here. And they have been quite solid on the Rice pick so far, so something that's probably within kind of their relative comfort zone out of this map pool.
Guys, while we're waiting for everything to continue, again, we're reminding everyone the Osmania 7K World Cup 2023 team support banners are up on the OSU store. If you want to show which team you are supporting in this World Cup, please purchase those banners. Obviously, like, the proceeds will also be, helping out on the prize pool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously,
so go
profile
check
swag
those
as
out.
well.
Oh yeah, for sure. They will spice up your profile pretty nicely. Looks like we're seeing a swap for Russia. Karay's coming in instead of Mage. But Indonesia's looking like they're going to keep the same two players here.
It does appear everything is good to go, so we'll be seeing the second map of this match for no reason. Also, we have to note this is OD 8.5, so there's some accuracy factor here. So have to be super careful here. We're going to see onto Bikasi on the mirror mod. Karay's carrying the no fail mod. Just for the information, everyone, no fail does not have any score penalties on score V2.
Yep, so, I mean, not a huge amount of reason not to bring it. But that said, if you are failing a map in Mania, probably means that your score is not going to beat most other teams, to be fair. But either way, we're getting into this one. As you said, OD 8.5, very high, so it is very hard to maintain any kind of good accuracy on this.
Like, the other thing about this start as well, the introduction is like, there are some sections that are quite heavy for a single hand, and then it would switch to the other, and then basically go back and forth, and then going full on just plain old bracket streams. And it does appear that Team Indonesia will be carrying the better of the accuracies between these two teams, both carrying Onto Bikasi with a 99.85. My eyes are not failing, raised with a 99.6. Both Russian players carrying accuracies just above 99.1, in the mid 99.1.
Yeah, still 299s on the Russian side with the FCs as well, holding up very strong. But Onto Bikasi 99.8 still is holding on to this monstrous accuracy.
That is monsters indeed, as we see just a single 100 if my eyes don't fail me again, but dropping them just a tad bit. But like, that lead, like, it doesn't really matter until it won't really matter as it stands.
Yeah, all things considered, this is a fairly large accuracy lead, and Karei's actually finding a miss, the first miss of this map, and that's going to put Indonesia even further in the lead right now. They're going to have to hope and pray that Indonesia collapse sometime in the end of this map, but we're so close already. Indonesia just has to hold on for a little bit longer.
Just an eighth of the chart remaining, just a short break right there, and then we'll be going back on these chord streams yet again. And Indonesia still continuing to pull ahead until the end of this chart, just taking it home.
Okay, Indonesia won.
And there you go, Team Indonesia will be getting their second point on the board.
Yeah, 3 full combos here onto Bikasi with the ratio difference, 272. Far in front of everyone else in the lobby in that regard, managing to get that 991k. Along with the double FC from Indonesia. That's going to earn them the first break point of the match.
So we might be seeing one of the Olympics again from Indonesia. Probably now going for more of the Olympics here for Indonesia, probably. And there you go. We'll be seeing the Thai video LN3. The density LN pick of this pool.
Yeah, seeing the density one once again here. We'll see how this turns out for both teams. Of course, Indonesia is definitely a very strong LN team, so it makes sense for them to pick it. But Russia do have their LN players of their own.
LN density picks have proven being like practically the most popular of like the LN pick categories in general, like over the past tournaments. I mean, to be fair, it's like the most straightforward of them all. Like, not much shenanigans on finger independence or release timings. Like,
Yeah,
it is
they
just
tend to
full
be-
on physicality.
Yeah, the most comfortable, you would say, right? Requiring the less like technical skill. You can, I mean, sometimes you can play them kind of like Rice maps, but a little bit hard to do that in cases like this.
You still have to maintain the accuracy right there.
You know, comparing them to maps in the coordination category, definitely much trickier to try and play consistently those coordination picks. So makes sense why teams would opt to go for something they feel a little bit more comfortable with.
There is some matter of risk here. I mean, again, as you did mention, like, you can play this something like Rice. So it might be possible that maybe Russia would have gotten a few runs on this chart as well. Like, maybe hoping that they could score a point off of their opponents.
Yeah, that is always fair thing to consider, right? You know, if it is more comfortable for you, maybe it is also more comfortable for your opponent. Have to see here, Mage swapping in once again for Russia.
So substitutions from the Indonesian side. Russian player's substitution does make sense. Buka kind of leaning more towards the Rice E part of the pool. Mage going in for the LNs alongside Therese, which is a very strong pairing here, but like similar accuracies between these two teams in the intro of this chart. Otobikase actually carrying 99.85, Race getting the first drop, but hey, scores are still fairly close.
It's fairly close, but that was a pretty big accuracy drop. Kind of tying with Karades right now, Raze is. But yeah, it is the accuracy lead overall for Indonesia despite that drop. But oh, there's another drop from Raze.
Another drop.
Now that's going to cement a little bit of a lead for Russia right now, but we are still in the first half. There's still a lot of map to be played out. It's not a big lead, especially if Karades misses right there.
Like the second half of this chart leans more towards like the density just becomes a bit harder. Like there's a bit more interlaced Rice notes there. Mage getting a drop before even that drop hit. Before that B drop hits. So Indonesia will be grabbing the lead and will be stretching that, especially with Mage getting a few more drops.
Yeah, a lot of players struggling to maintain their comfort on density like this, but one player that is unaffected completely is Ontobikase right now. Karay's finding another drop. Ontobikase still the only full combo with 99.7. I'm trying my best to curse.
Well, hopefully no curses there, because we're seeing a very impressive score there from Ontobikase, Raze and Karay's getting a mistrade.
Mistrades aren't going to do anything right now. Mage has recovered the combo really well towards the end. Very strong accuracies across the board, but it's just the slight differences, mostly with Ontobikase getting a really impressive full combo, the only one of that map. And oh my, like, look at the accuracy, like the ratio from Ontobikase, just this level of comfort with these LNs.
Oh my gosh, only 11,200s. That is super impressive there from Ontobikase. Now a Toby team rushes turn to pick, and hopefully like the more they let Indonesia take points, the lesser a chance of them even surviving and maybe putting up more of a fight.
Imagine Korea.
We'll have to see. This is an important pick here for Russia. And oh, actually, they're going for hybrid. It's not going to be the Rice pool that they're going for.
JKs. Like, bro.
This is interesting. I mean, like, okay, this is definitely like the whack hybrid. I mean, this is more like colors from the last pool. Very short pick, staggered releases, some ricey bursts.
And you know,
Russia.
That could be a good call. Honestly, you know, 1.5 minutes long. If we think back to the map that was just played, right? A couple early drops from Indonesia, and you can imagine, you know, if the map ended halfway through that last map, then Russia would have been the ones in the lead.
Yep.
So perhaps banking on maybe Indonesia finding a couple of early drops in this map, and if Russia manages to hold the combo through it, that could be all they need to be able to win a point here.
Okay. I love how it just says Indonesia's winning. I mean, it's true because they're winning, right?
Well, here we go with the fourth map in this match. We'll see if Russia's strategy changing things up will be giving them a point.
Okay.
We'll have to see though once the density starts to pick up.
Come on. Raise, don't mess up. Also onto it, please don't.
Does appear that Indonesia will be getting the lead. Mage getting a very massive drop there. Like, remember, these staggered releases and mini rice bursts are not exactly the easiest to get some act on.
Yeah, these are absolutely brutal. Even on OD5, this is insane to try and act, and we do see the act lead definitely in Indonesia's favor right now. Still with the two full combos.
Raise.
That was a strange miss from Raze, but it is something that is much needed for Russia right now. And another miss. It's going to help them out a little bit more, but the problem still stands. Onto Bikasi's accuracy, 99.7.
There's still that one of those very wacky sections here. Mage getting yet another drop, so that's going to get Indonesia's lead ahead just a tad bit more. Again, this is a super short pick. It's about to end in a few seconds, and does appear that Indonesia will be picking up their 4th point.
Yeah, and they did get a couple of misses from Indonesia like they wanted, but unfortunately Russia weren't able to hold on to the combos themselves completely. Karays with a very impressive full combo, but just no one on the Russian side managing to match onto Bikasi's accuracy. That's where the problems come from.
GG's.
Wow, onto Bikasi's 200 count. That is impressive for a chart
I mean, the
like
ratio
this.
as well. That's like a 1 to 6, 1 to 7 ratio from onto Bikasi, which, I mean, this is not a map that, like, ratio should not be on your mind when you're playing this map.
Which is weird.
He's getting some, basically full comboing the chart might be like the best priority you could have on this chart. But wow.
That's another breakpoint. 4-0 Indonesia in a really good position in this match so far, and they get the next pick. There's 2 LN maps up. There's 1 hybrid if they want to go for that, but I feel like LN is probably more of the safer option. Never mind. There are no rules when the teams are picking whatever they want.
It's looking very good for Indonesia.
I guess they're trying to like,
So they're choosing
it's a lighter chord stream. I guess they're like, once they saw what they're seeing from Russia's performances, maybe they're starting to get a bit more confident, maybe just changing things up, like just showing like we don't need the LN picks or something like that. Who knows?
I mean, maybe just saying that Indonesia has the better accuracy, which they have been so far in this match, and you know, if Indonesia have the better accuracy, then they might just be good to pick the maps they're most comfortable comboing, right? If Indonesia can pull off a full combo, then it will be extremely hard for Russia to be able to win a point.
We'll have to see if that theory holds. Buka will be going in for Karays in this map.
so sad.
Still no substitutions from the Indonesian side. Hopefully my memory isn't failing me.
No, it has been onto Bikasi and raised the entire match so far.
Korea won. Russia through. This is what Russia gets for doing war.
Also, like, speaking of just going a bit off tangent for a bit, like the artist's name, I think it took me a while to like figure out how the artist's name is read. Apparently, it's Roko Denashi from the notes
yeah.
I've had.
Okay, that kind of makes sense. Like the way that you know, Japan has like multiple ways of saying numbers.
Yep.
And unfortunate. Wait, hang on.
Onto Bikasi as well.
No, on the.
That's weird.
Was it both of them? Or was it only onto Bikasi? I think Buka's might have been just a client one. I think onto Bikasi's was the real one. Hard to say when the combos are going up this fast.
Yeah.
But either way, it is going to be a very small early act lead, it looks like, towards Indonesia, but not by a whole lot. Russia are very close here, although Mage drops a few 200s there on that pattern.
And actually dropping them to below 99.2 as well. Just scary. But is trying to pull it up just a tad bit. They're back at 99.2, but like the Indonesian accuracies, like you see at 99.7, 99.6. The only what, like Buka's the only one really keeping up with both Indonesian accuracies as it stands. Because already at 99.8, if my eyes are not deceiving me. Mage continually recovering that accuracy though.
There's definitely 99.8 there. Mage, finding a drop there at the halfway point of the map. 99.1%. This is still a large, well, not that large accuracy lead for Indonesia, but it is an accuracy lead nonetheless. Buka for now is keeping up with Raze in terms of the accuracy and the full combo.
There's still quarter of the chart remaining. A few more of these chord streams remaining. Team Indonesia has to be careful and still maintain these. Buka and Raze dropping their combos, so no more full combos left in this lobby. Because he's still carrying that very big combo at 99.83% accuracy. Super impressive there from Ontabikasi, as we've seen from them the entire match.
Oh my! You just reminded me. Yeah, this is a miss at the start of the map from Ontabikasi, isn't it? With this accuracy, that's crazy.
Yup. Who knows? It might be a V1 double S without the miss.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Okay, 1-11. That ratio is. That is insane. That is just crazy to be getting that. And actually, Raze is not that far off as far as the ratio goes. This is some extreme act coming out from Indonesia on a map like this. This is exactly why they picked this instead of one of the LN picks. Although, it could have been pretty close. Russia's accuracy. Honestly, I feel like if Russia didn't find those unfortunate misses, it would have been a very close score overall between the two teams.
They weren't really that far from them. Like maybe in an alternate universe, might be some changes. But anyways, Team Russia will be picking the Core Jack pick as a possible.
We've got like a left-right split
Yeah.
on that map pool selection screen. The blue, yeah, all the blue maps are on the left, all the red maps are on the right.
Yo, that
Teams
is
are
a
trying
very
to connect 6 as fast as they can.
that's a very beautiful screen right there.
How much? That's 558. It's very easy.
Anyways,
But
back to where we were.
Yeah, the Jack pick coming out here, the Chord Jack being picked by Russia. So they're the one picking into this. You would have to expect Russia have some kind of comfort on this in some way or another.
Trust me, Russia has lots of projects.
I mean, we've seen Russia really carrying some accuracy as well. Like, they're not really that far from Indonesia. It's just a matter of like making sure they're consistent enough to even maintain it. Because like we've seen Autopicasi, we've seen Raze like just perform it very well the entire match.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even though Russia probably can't match up to Ontabikasi's accuracy as we've seen throughout this match, they can definitely get close enough, especially in a pick like this. I feel like they can tie or even beat Raze, and that would turn it into kind of just like a one-miss game if Indonesia slip up at all. Russia will definitely be there to be able to take the lead. We'll have to see how this turns out.
You did mention misses, and this is that one chart. Since the core jacks are a bit more spread out, it's actually quite easy to get a few misses here.
Both teams out the gates. The ratio game is on point for all these players right now. Korea's actually dropping in accuracy a little bit, down to 99.6. That's going to give Indonesia the slight accuracy advantage for now. Buka actually holding his own against both Ontabikasi and Raze, all three of them around that 99.9% range.
Raze dropping to that 99.4. Basically the difference we've been seeing between these two teams.
Korea's actually hitting really early.
Yeah, that is extremely early there from Korea's. You don't really want to be hitting early in the core jack pick because like the 300s are like a very massive score penalty in a chart where accuracy matters the most. Because he's still, and Buka as well, carrying the only 99.9s in this multiplayer room. Raze kind of dropping up to 99.79. Oh wow, this is super impressive from both of these players on the upper half of the screen.
Yeah, this is some extreme ratio battles going on.
Was there a 200 from Buka's side though?
Potentially. Oh, that's a miss. And that's basically going to decide it. It's at the very end of the map, even a miss.
Raze as well following that up.
Unfortunate double miss there from Russia. Indonesia manages to hold on to both of these full combos.
Time to see how many regular 300s Onta Bikasi has obtained as Indonesia will be advancing to the next round.
102 and 148 for Buka. These are definitely ratios that exist. Some of the ratios of all time.
1:20, basically, approximately.
Yeah,
one of the ratios of all
good.
time. Yeah, they're very good at the game.
Congratulations to Indonesia, though. Definitely an extremely strong performance. Unfortunately for Russia, they are eliminated from the tournament here in the quarterfinals, but they did have a lot to show for themselves in this tournament. Even, I mean, making the top 16 in the first place is a massive achievement, given a lot of those teams that didn't qualify at all.
And it's the victors team Indonesia who will be advancing to next weekend and hope to live another round.
JJ's.
But again, as what we've mentioned, teams in the losers bracket will be having one heck of a task to try to survive and reach as far as they could to go the distance.
Yep, there are no easy matches out there, even for Indonesia, who is going to continue. I'm looking at the bracket just about now, and